Before the world feared his name, he was nothing. A shadow in the hallways, a ghost in the classrooms, a mistake in the eyes of society. He was Ren Jiho, a thin, tired boy in a worn-out hoodie, practically invisible. Students would bump into him without a second glance. Teachers would look right through him. He was just there. One day, his old backpack finally gave out, ripping open and spilling its contents across the floor. Jiho wasn't weak by choice. Life just never gave him a chance. As he knelt to pick up his scattered books, a foot slammed down, crushing his notebooks into a pulpy mess. A sneering voice followed. "Pick it up, trash." And he did. He always picked it up. Every single time. He limped home that night, the cold rain soaking him to the bone. Home wasn't a sanctuary. It was a small, damp apartment where his mother lay sick in bed, surrounded by empty medicine bottles. He worked 3 part-time jobs, slept maybe 4 hours a day, and still, he could never afford the medicine she desperately needed. Staring at his own calloused, trembling hands, a broken whisper escaped his lips. "Why am I even alive?" He collapsed onto the floor, the weight of his hopeless existence finally crushing him. But that night, as he teetered on the edge of oblivion, the universe finally answered. His vision glitched. The world dissolved into static, and a cold, mechanical chime echoed in the silence of his mind. A sterile voice announced, "User physiological state, critical. Evaluating host compatibility. Success. Installing disaster system." An invisible shockwave erupted from his body, rattling the very foundations of the room. This wasn't just any system. It was a forbidden power, created centuries ago for one purpose: destruction, annihilation, chaos. The voice returned, "Welcome, host. Your suffering has been acknowledged." Jiho gasped, his eyes flying open. He was no longer on the floor but floating, surrounded by swirling, glowing symbols of immense power. He awoke in a dark alley, the rain having stopped. A strange warmth flowed through him. His bruises were gone, his cuts healed, his exhaustion replaced by a vibrant energy he'd never felt before. The system's voice returned, cold and direct. "Mission: defeat immediate threat." A target indicator appeared in his vision, highlighting a group of thugs emerging from the shadows. One of them grinned. "Look what we found, a little rat." Jiho felt a familiar tremor of fear, but something was different. His vision distorted, and the system's voice cut through his panic, activating hazard surge. In an instant, his eyes turned pitch black. A blast of pure, concussive force tore through the alley, sending the thugs flying backward like ragdolls. For the first time in his life, Jiho didn't feel fear. He was the fear. Standing over his defeated attackers, he whispered to himself, "What am I?" He started to test his new abilities. He could see threat levels hovering over people. He could absorb the energy of his defeated enemies, converting their fear and aggression into his own raw power. He was changing, becoming stronger with every passing moment. But power, especially power like this, invites attention. In a high-tech command center far away, agents monitored a sudden, massive spike in energy. An agent reported, "We've detected the disaster system. It has awakened." The order was given, "Find the host, before he destabilizes everything." Unaware of the new eyes on him, Jiho returned home. The moment he stepped inside, a warm aura emanated from him, and he saw his mother stir, her breathing becoming less labored, a hint of color returning to her cheeks. She was healing, just from being near him. Tears streamed down his face. "I can finally protect you," he choked out. "I can finally change something." His hope was short-lived. The world struck first. The entire neighborhood was silently surrounded by government special forces. Through his window, Jiho saw red laser sights painting his chest. A commander's voice crackled over a calm link. "Target: Ren Jiho. Approach with caution. He is classified as an Omega-level threat." The world didn't see a boy trying to save his mother. They saw a catastrophe waiting to happen. The system's voice was a cold whisper in his mind. "Warning: Host is in an unfavorable position. Recommendation: eradicate all threats." Jiho shook his head. "No, I won't hurt innocent people." The system's reply was chilling. "Innocence is irrelevant. Survival is mandatory." Choosing his own path, Jiho stepped outside, his hands raised in surrender. "I don't want to fight." The commander didn't hesitate. He fired. Everything slowed to a crawl. The bullet sailed through the air, a tiny harbinger of death, until it gently touched Jiho's forehead. And then, time stopped. His protective aura erupted like a hurricane of pure force. The system's voice boomed, no longer a whisper but a declaration. Override activated. Unleashing Cataclysm mode. A cataclysmic shockwave obliterated everything in a 100-meter radius. Drones fell from the sky, tanks were crumpled like paper, and soldiers collapsed from the sheer pressure alone. Jiho floated in the epicenter, engulfed in a swirling vortex of black and red energy. This was the moment the world realized their fatal mistake. The weak nobody they ignored, the boy they tried to extinguish, had just become a living disaster. When the dust settled, Jiho stood alone in the center of a smoldering crater. The soldiers were unconscious but alive. He had spared them. He looked at his hands, no longer trembling. but steady with newfound purpose. "I didn't choose this," he said to the empty night, "but I won't run anymore." The system's prompt appeared in his vision, a new path laid before him. Next mission available. Would you like to continue? Destroying fate. And so begins the rise of the most dangerous man alive. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story of Ren Jiho, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. See you next time.